So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. My doctor, who is an ardent follower of mine and a big lover of my channel, recently leveled a huge accusation against me. He asked me, Barrister Peperempe as he fondly called me, why do you more often speak about injustice suffered by women than you speak about injustice suffered by men? I smiled in my usual fashion and I responded. I told him I speak about injustice that makes it out to the news. Injustice that I have substantial facts about. And since naturally, women are more inclined than men to share stories and tales of the abuse they suffer, it is only expected that stories of abuse out there will be more about women as victims than men. But that is not by any means to say that men do not suffer abuse. But it's just that a lot of them are very unwilling to come out there and share their stories and give accounts of the trauma and torture they suffer most times in the hands of their partners. So on this channel, what we stand for is facts and justice, regardless and irrespective of gender. That said, today's video is a very peculiar one. It is a story that exposes a narrative that is rather unusual. It is the story of 26-year-old OnlyFans model, Courtney, who fatally stabbed and ended the life of her Nigerian boyfriend, Christian OBUMSELI, after a 2-year, highly combative and highly violent relationship. 27-year-old Christian OBUMSELI was a United States resident of Nigerian descent. He was an entrepreneur and a media personality. Born in Dallas, Texas, he attended high school in Plano, Texas, graduated in 2012, and then proceeded to Texas Tech University, where he earned a business degree in communication studies and business administration. Christian was by every standard an attractive man. He stood tall at an admirable height, with that dark, chocolatey Wakanda skin to die for, and he crowned it all up with a stunning athletic frame. Many friends and acquaintances have described Christian's personality as fun, outgoing, and contagious. And his smiles, goodness, it was larger than life. With all of this charm, Christian OBUMSELI could easily have gotten any other woman of his choosing, but he chose Courtney. 26-year-old Courtney, also known as Courtney Taylor, was a beautiful social media influencer. Very popular too, I may add. Having amassed over 2 million followers on Instagram alone, Courtney had a life that many young girls would definitely envy. Aside influencing on Instagram, Courtney was or is an OnlyFans model. And on her account, she shares nude photographs and videos of herself to the wild amazement of her budding fans and followers. Details of how Courtney and Christian met is quite sketchy, but what we are absolutely sure about is that their relationship blossomed so fast that in no distant time, the two young lovebirds had moved in and had started living together there in Texas. On the outside, Christian and Courtney were the perfect couple. Drop-dead gorgeous, young, ambitious, successful, good-looking interracial couples. They were the envy of many. Truly a sight for sore eyes. But on the inside, their tumultuous relationship was plagued with rounds and rounds of fights, off and ons, physical and verbal abuse, and every other chaos typically associated with a toxic relationship. It got so bad that evidence had it that at the time, the landlord threatened to evict them out of his property. But despite the toxicity, despite the chaos, despite the incompatibility, despite the unending fights, these two young lovebirds still chose to continue in their crazy, turbulent relationship. The day Christian OBUMSELI would lose his life started out like every other normal day. Courtney had not so long ago after a round of an explosive fight, kicked OBUMSELI out of the home that they shared, and they split, right? But so soon thereafter, these two lovebirds who were obviously bad for each other rekindled their relationship and got back together, and OBUMSELI moved back into the house. And 2 days after he moved in, Courtney allegedly stabbed him to death. So back to that fateful day. The day had begun peacefully. Evidence and witness accounts had it that on that morning, both of them had played with their dogs. They had 2 dogs, yeah? They had spent some fun time with their dogs. Then around 1:15 p.m. in the afternoon, Kristen chose to take a stroll with the dogs and drop by at the grocery store to pick up some items. Courtney, on the other hand, stayed at home and went on Instagram Live that same evening. At 4:32, he returned home to Courtney with sandwiches. And at 4:43, only 11 minutes after his return, he was dead, fatally stabbed in the chest. He died of a stab wound that punctured the subclavian artery in the right side of his chest. Even before calling 911 and notifying the police, Courtney Clenny placed a phone call to her mother, and her mother communicated to her to claim self-defense and not to speak to anybody, or else her attorney is present. And my dear brothers and sisters, self-defense she did claim. Courtney deposed in her statements that OBUMSELI had abused her. She said that OBUMSELI had her in choke mode on the wall, her back against the wall. And when she managed to get off his grip, she threw a knife to him about 10 feet away to protect herself, but unfortunately, that throw led to the demise of OBUMSELI. Much to the anger and chagrin of OBUMSELI's family and the general public at large, Courtney was set loose. And when it made it out that Courtney had been allowed to go and was not charged with any crime, all hell was let loose. The racial card was played with reckless abandon. And what was on everybody's lips was that, oh, because she is a white woman and he is a black guy, that is why they're about to evade justice. If the situations were turned around and it was OBUMSELI who had done this to Courtney, this was not going to be the same story that we're going to be hearing. And so the whole of social media went into a frenzy. Well, for those who believe that Courtney's action on that fateful day was far from self-defense, but was clear, premeditated murder, I have news for you, good news for you. You will recall that after that whole incident, Courtney had traveled to Hawaii, where she is said to be recovering from substance abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder. But on the 9th of August, only a few days back, Courtney was arrested and is now being repatriated back to the United States to face trial for a second-degree homicide charge for causing the deaths of Kristen OBUMSELI. This decision was premised on these grounds. 1. Regarding Kristen's stab wound, the state's medical examiner found that that wound was caused by a downward stroke into OBUMSELI's chest, hence contradicting Courtney's claim that she threw the knife from a 10 feet away distance. 2. Courtney had claimed that OBUMSELI had her back against the wall on choke mode, but it was revealed that there were no single marks on Courtney to indicate that such a thing happened. Thirdly, several accounts and evidences from mutual friends and acquaintances, eyewitnesses, investigation findings, and video evidences show that Kristen did not lay a finger on Courtney in the course of their relationship. Rather, it was Courtney who was repeatedly and excessively abusive towards Kristen, physically assaulting him at every slightest provocation, and was in the habit of throwing and using dangerous weapons on the late Kristen OBUMSELI. Although Courtney Clenny's defense attorney has denied all of these claims and allegations, he maintains that Courtney used the knife on Kristen purely in self-defense. He says that they are highly confident that Courtney will be exonerated and will be seen for what she really is, which is a victim of domestic violence who survived her abuser? Well, time and trial will tell. A great percentage of people are very relieved that this case has been reopened and that OBUMSELI would have a chance to get justice for his untimely passing. We are looking forward to the trial, and as always, you can be sure that I would bring to you concrete and authentic updates as they come. Stay glued and do not go anywhere. So thank you guys for joining me today on Nezeville. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe if you're not, turn on your bell notifications. Give this video a big thumbs up. Catch up on so many of my very interesting content that has come before this one. Drop your feelings in the comment section. Why you think men are less vocal about the abuse they suffer in the hands of their spouses? Trust me, a lot more is going on than is reported and than is known on social media. Share what you think about this particular case in the comment section. Do you really think that it was self-defense, or do you think that it was a premeditated act in the heat of anger, annoyance, and a bitter argument? Let us know what you think about all of this right in the comments. It's me again, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.